Good evening and welcome to Kim Possible's Kitchen. I'm on Jamaican time right now. I'm just a few minutes late, but I wanted to ensure that I have everything prepared for my Jamaican Spiced Bun recipe, or what we call Easter bun. Popular in the stores like the HTB. Now, the recipe that I'm using will be the stout recipe. You can use Dragon Stout or Guinness Stout. Now, it's quite an easy recipe. It's very easy once you have everything together. I'm trying to delay here just to see how many viewers I have, and I'd like to welcome you all. I hope you guys enjoy my recipe. So I hope you have your flour, your eggs, your sugar, your Guinness Stout, Dragon Stout. You can also use beer, but I prefer it with the Guinness Stout. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I have everything prepared here, ready to go. And if you follow along with me, then this should be easy to go. So I have 1 bottle of Guinness Stout. I'm going to pour it in my pot because I'm going to heat it. So I'm going to pour it in the pot. Okay, I want to make sure I get everything out. What do you think? Did I do a good job of getting everything out of the bottle?
I'm done.
Papaya here, or is it olive?
I'm done.
Okay, so my son is saying he's done.
I'm done.
He's saying enough with the theatrics. A little comedy is good, you know what I mean? Come on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my stove on.
It's not even flashed on yet, Mom.
Okay, sorry, it's a gas stove, I forgot. Okay, so I'm going to turn my stove on. I'm going to put it on low heat for now. To that, here I have 1.5 cups of sugar. I'm going to add my 1.5 cups of sugar to my mix. Ta-da! Gonna mix that. It's gonna dissolve. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to add my other ingredients. Now, butter, but I'm going to use margarine. You can use margarine or you can use butter. I'm using Imperial margarine today. Butter gives you a nice flavor. This margarine is not bad on flavor itself. So I'm going to add 1/2 cup of butter. 1/2 cup of butter.
Desmond Lewis asked, what are you cooking today?
I'm making spice bun, or what we call Jamaica Easter bun, right? So that's what I'm making today. So 1/2 cup. So I started here, Desmond. I'm using the stout recipe for my bun. So I added 1 bottle of Guinness Stout. I added 1.5 cups of sugar, and I'm going to add 1/2 cup of butter to my stove here, and I have it on low heat at this point. So I'm doing this along with you. I put out what you'll need earlier. I didn't put out the measurements, but I put out what you would need earlier, so that you would have it prepared if you want to bake along with me. And another thing, I've preheated my oven at 375 degrees. So my butter to my mix here. To this, I'm going to add some mixed peel. So pretty mixed peel here. I have some orange peel, like some zest and peel, and then I add some raisins. So you can do it as much as you want, but for this right now, it's about 1 cup of mixture all together. So this includes raisins, your mixed peel, and your mixed fruits. It's the same that you would use for your it's the same mixed peel or fruits that you would use for your Jamaica Christmas cake or your black cake. Some people blend it. I blend it. But some people prefer the whole pieces in it. I prefer it blended. So to this, I'm going to mix a little, and it's heating, so you'll see it melted. You don't want to put it on too high. To this mixture, I'm also going to add my liquid essence, like my vanilla essence and so on and so forth. So this is browning, but I'm going to run through a little bit of the essences that I use. So in this bottle, I have the big bad Jamaican flavors, like your almond essence. My anise mix is in this as well. Some vanilla and the rose and almond from Jamaica. Some Jamaica flavors as well in this. So here I have my measuring spoons. Actually, I'm going to use this one. So again, flavoring is as much or as little as you like. So this you add to your taste, but I'm going to add about a tablespoon of this mix to here.
Mix.
In addition to that, I'm going to add a little bit extra vanilla. So that's about a teaspoon. And I have some pure cinnamon extract. I'm going to add a little bit more as well.
Mix.
To that, I'm also going to add some additional mixed essence. They have different varieties of mixed essence. Some do have different varieties of mixed essence. Some do have better flavors than the other. So I tend to top mine up a little bit with different things.
Mix.
I'm also going to add just a little bit of molasses. So if you can't hear me clearly, please let me know. So I'm adding my molasses. I'm just going to try and dissolve a little bit more from the cup. With the heat, it comes off a little bit easier. So this is heating nicely, and my mix is starting to melt and mix together nicely there.
Mix.
Now, for color, I'm going to add some browning. So you have your Grace browning, and you have different varieties of browning as well. So I'm going to use the Brown Betty. And again, colors as dark or as light as you'd like, but I'm just going to add just a little here. And again, I'm going to mix away.
Mix.
Okay, if you have any rum or red label wine, you can add a touch to that. That will touch it up a little notch. Okay. Now, for my dry ingredients, I'm just gonna grab a piece of paper towel. So here I have measured my 3 cups of flour. And this is just regular flour. To that, I'm going to add some baking powder. This is no name, but you know, the famous one. I also have that, but I'm using this one. So I'm going to add 3 teaspoons of baking powder. 1, 2, 3. Now, I'm going to add my dry spices. So I'm going to measure because you're watching along with me. So,
What was that?
I'm going to add just a dash of cloves, ground cloves. That was ground cloves. If you don't have it, the nutmeg and the cinnamon should do great. I'm going to add now about a teaspoon of nutmeg. To that, I'm going to add some cinnamon.
cinnamon.
So I don't usually measure, I usually just pour. But because I have people following along with me, I'm going to measure. So I add about a teaspoon there, but I'm going to add a little bit more because I like cinnamon. Cinnamon really tastes good in the bun. It adds and it cranks up your spice a little bit. But remember, if you add too much cinnamon, then it will give you that really strong, pungent taste. It will make your food bitter. It can spoil your food. It adds, but it takes away.
Note to self, don't do the cinnamon challenge.
Now, this is my allspice. You know, those in Jamaica know the ground pimento seeds, my allspice. So I'm going to add a half teaspoon of allspice. I'm just going to turn here.
Christopher French says, coming by now, address.
Oh, for sure you can come. Christopher, I need audience. I'll send that to you in a bit.
I'll send him right now. Oh, right now.
Oh, yeah. Send the entire website.
Yeah,
address.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So, that's it there. Now, I don't know if you have pumpkin spice, the pumpkin pie spice. This is actually very good to bake with.
I love it.
It adds a little bit extra flavor to it. So it's a mixture of almost the same things that I've added, but it adds a little bit more. Now, it's an option if you have ground ginger. You can add a little ginger as well.
Ginger. Sweet, does he? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. I'm not going to add any salt to this because the margarine is already salted.
Yeah, I need more salt than that.
No more salt than that. So I'm going to mix this.
Do you need sugar?
Together. Sorry?
Do you need sugar?
Sugar is already in the...
Oh, yeah. My bad. I'm forgetful
Sugar
today.
is already in there. So as I said, this is so easy. This is like nothing. Okay, so now, this is basically ready to go. This is how easy it is. You can add a little bit more flour if you'd like. Makes it the texture a little firmer. Or you can leave it with the 3 cups here. Now, to that, I have 2 eggs here. So I'm gonna beat my eggs. And this is what my mix looks like.
Mix.
So it's ready to go. So when you're adding this, because the liquid is hot, you have to be very careful it doesn't curdle. So you're gonna mix as you pour. So I'm making sure my eggs are well beaten. Now, so he wanted to help, sorry. So now what I'm doing is I am slowly adding my egg mixture. And I'm making sure that it doesn't curdle. So it mixes right in. So there I go. Eggs are gone. So this is my mixture. Now, hot mixture. Ooh, the aroma. The aroma is so wonderful. It's delicious. I'm mixing all of that to my flour, my baking powder, and my dried spices. I don't know how many guests I have out there. Any questions, let me know. So you want to ensure that this is mixed thoroughly. So because this is a dark mixture, if you have any lumps or anything, then you'll see it once it's baked. You'll see the white showing through your cake or your bun. Any questions? Anyone want to know anything? Desmond, are you still there? I know you're in the UK. How's it going with the music? So voila, this is my mixture for my Jamaican Spiced Bun. I don't think I missed anything. I think I've done this so many times. I can do it with my eyes closed. So over here, I have my loaf pans all ready to go. So I'm going to separate it into 2 portions. I could just make a big loaf, but I'm just going to separate it into 2 portions.
Crystal House says she's gonna try this for Christmas dinner.
Hey Crystal, how are you, sweetie pie? For sure you can try it. If you need the recipe or if you have any questions, feel free to inbox me and I can send you more information. There's also a yeast recipe, but that includes a kneading and no. Sometimes it takes too long.
Trisha's statement says no raisins.
The raisins are in the mix. I mixed the raisins and my mix peel, and I put them in the mixture with Guinness, the sugar, and my vanilla and whatnot with the butter, and I heat that, so it's already in there. This is a little bit darker than I wanted it to be, but
Nah.
so you can see the raisins in there. I'm just grabbing my spatula. So this is it for the spiced bun recipe. I'm just cleaning my spoon here, my wooden spoon. And I'm good to go. To this, I'm gonna add my the glazed cherries.
Desmond Hall says, all I want to know is how am I going to get mine?
Desmond Hall?
No, sorry. Desmond Lewis.
Okay. You can either make it or I can FedEx it for you. Which one do you prefer? It's easy to make. I could walk you through making it, or I could FedEx it for you at your cost, of course. And I'm sure the pounds are still a little bit stronger than the Canadian dollar. What do you think, Desmond? Okay. So I put the cherries on top. I'm just gonna poke them in a little. And this is going to go in my oven at 375 degrees. And that's going to bake for about 35 to 40 minutes. You don't want it to be too dry. Otherwise it's going to be that dry, mushy, that dry bun. Very choking, you know. So that's it for my recipe for my spice bun.
I don't know how to pronounce this name.
Okay, sorry. Okay. Yeah, BC's not that far, Alti. I can actually, yeah, we can do that. But I can easily well teach you how to make it. If I'm gonna have to send it, then I'm gonna have to charge you for it. More money in my pocket. Cha-ching! Yeah, but for sure. So that was my recipe for my spice bun. I think I'm in a baking mood. So if you guys have any white cake mix, rum, any raisins or fruits, I can show you how to cheat the Jamaican rum cake. So if you guys are in the mood to bake, let me know. If you want to see it, let me know. I can set up, come back, and then I'm ready to go with that recipe as well. So if you have your wine mixture like your rum, red label wine or port wine, ready to go, even your Hennessy, whatever you have, then Appleton, then we can do that. So any questions for me? Anything else? No? Okay, well, that's my spice bun recipe. Again, 35 to 40 minutes in the oven.
Crystal Hall says, yes, let's see, please.
Let's see, please. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna clean up and wash my dishes, and then I'll be back. And give me about 10 minutes, I'll be back with my mixer and everything ready to go. So you need your cake box recipe, you'll need a little flour. And this one is easy to do by hand, so if you don't have a mixer, because it is a cheater recipe and it's easy to mix with the because of the cake mix, then we can go through that. So need some rum, some wine, Appleton, anything, even your Hennessy, anything you have. You can do that, cognac, anything, and then we can go from there. So this is Kim Possible. Tuning out for now. I'll be back in a few with my cheater Jamaican rum cake or fruit cake recipe.